This past June, I was driving my kiddos to their very first homeschool track meet, and we were about 5 minutes away from the field and on time when suddenly my dashboard lit up. Big red flashing lights, engine overheating, turn off immediately. And honestly, I felt sick to my stomach. Welcome to the Decode Your Body podcast. I'm Tasha Miller, your host, symptom decoder and body clarity mentor for powerhouse women ready to finally understand their bodies. If you've done everything right, the plans, the protocols, the clean eating, and your body still feels unpredictable, this is where women stop guessing their symptoms and start decoding them through the lens of their unique body type. Get ready to become the CEO of your body. I was in the city. I didn't know. The meet started in 20 minutes and that wave of like this panic hit, like we're going to miss it. If you're a mom, you know this feeling. But not only that, it was 35 degrees outside. We were an hour and 20 minutes from home. And yes, I technically have towing coverage, but no one wants to be stranded in the middle of an industrial area with kiddos in the back seat. So quickly, I pulled into the nearest parking lot. It was this electrical parts warehouse, and I popped open the hood, pulled out ChatGPT, and within seconds, a few men came, strolling out to see if I needed help. Well, it turns out the water pump had a tiny crack, and for months, the coolant had been leaking, obviously drip by drip, until the system was completely dry. And the warning light wasn't the problem on my dashboard. It just was the message for me. It did put me into panic, but that's exactly how your body works. It sends these quiet signals for weeks, sometimes for months, before flashing that big red light that you absolutely cannot ignore. And the redness, the rash, the breakouts, they're not random. They're your body's way of saying, hey, something deeper needs attention. Welcome back to the podcast. Well, today we are not talking about engines and red lights on the dashboard, but we are talking about something that I know many of you struggle with, the kind of skin symptoms that show up at the worst possible time, and where the rash won't go away, the acne that flares when your life feels really full, or the redness that seems to appear overnight. And you've tried everything, different products, diets, protocols, and your skin still reacts because sometimes your skin isn't just responding to what you're putting on it. It's responding to what your body's been carrying within it. And your skin is your body's dashboard light. It's like that place your system communicates when something deeper needs attention. Now, before we dive in, I want you to take a quick second to tap that plus or follow button wherever you're listening, on Apple Podcast or Podbean or whatever. That way, you'll never miss an episode designed to help you understand your body and lead your health with so much more understanding. So over the last 15 years, I've studied a lot of natural Western medicine, herbalism, nutrition, homeopathy, and here's what I've learned. Our world is full of invisible stressors that didn't exist like back in the prairie days over 50 years ago. So you always try to do everything right. You switch your products, you clean up your food, you go low tox, try to buy all organic, and you make better choices, and yet your skin still reacts. And it's like mopping the same puddle every day if you come home and you've got a puddle of water in your kitchen without realizing that there's actually a slow leak under the sink that you can't see. You keep treating by mopping up the water, but the real issue is what's happening underneath. Now, I am no stranger to skin issues. I have never had acne, but eczema, I truly actually felt like it was my enemy. I was in college full-time as a paralegal 5 days a week. And from 4 to 11 p.m., I'd either waitress or I would run the cappuccino shop. I'd finish at 11 p.m., stay up and do homework until 1 in the morning and be back in class by 8:30 the next morning. And literally it was nonstop. And I thought I was managing it fine. I needed the money, but then the eczema hit and my hands became so swollen, cracked, and it was the weeping type of eczema. I could barely make a fist and it hurt to, hang onto my pen, to carry trays, to wash my hands, and the water made it so much worse. Now, to add insult to injury, it spread onto my face, under my eyes. It was on my eyelid, so my eyelid was puffy and it was always red and inflamed, and the makeup just made it worse, even though I tried to use the makeup to cover it up, but I still had to show up. I was the friendly server, the favorite in the restaurant, in the cappuccino bar, but inside I was feeling really ashamed and embarrassed. Like my body was betraying me. And I was really shy, but I was actually quite confident until I had to hand customers food with this inflamed hands. And I can only describe it as I felt like I was a leper. And I had no idea why my eczema was so incredibly bad. So I went to a dermatologist. I tried steroid creams, changed my soaps, changed my clothes, everything I thought would help my 20-year-old little self. But what I didn't understand then was this. It wasn't just about what I was putting on my body. It was also about what I was putting it through. The constant running, the long hours, the late night study sessions, the pressure to keep up. And yes, the weekend fun and drinks with my friends that poured more fuel on an already burning fire. So my body wasn't malfunctioning. It was just speaking extremely loud, and I just didn't know how to listen to it yet. So fast forward to today, and I watched another woman walk through something similar, and this time I could see exactly what was happening. So a friend of mine, she's a mom, a business owner, and one of those women who never really stops, and was diagnosed with lichen planus, which is an autoimmune skin condition that shows up as red, itchy, painful, kind of purpley patches. And her flare returned recently. And at first, she didn't really know why. She hadn't changed her food, her products, or her routine, but I knew her well enough to see it. She was burning the candle at both ends, late night calls, early mornings, constant giving to her family, and her pace hadn't just increased, her capacity had been maxing out for months. And when your body hits capacity, it will always find a release point. And for her, that is in her skin. Now, this isn't technically my wheelhouse dermatology, but it didn't need to be, because once you understand how to decode the body, you can trace back any symptom back to its signal. And so her skin wasn't broken. Her body is actually extremely brilliant, because that's the way God made us. And it's communicating the only way that it knew how. And here's what I want you to know. That clarity isn't just reserved for practitioners or dermatologists. You can also learn to read your body that way too. And the same instinct that you use to lead your family, your business, and your world, that same precision lives in your body. So once you start decoding your symptoms instead of dismissing them, that's when real confidence begins, that grounded sense of knowing what your body needs and how to respond. And maybe for you, it's not eczema or lichen planus. Maybe it's acne or psoriasis or something else. You've probably healed your gut, cleaned up your skincare, and still those deep, painful spots return. And if your gut is balanced, your skin often follows, because the gut is your body's control center. But healing the gut isn't the whole big picture. Your body doesn't just digest food, it digests life. Stress, speed, and overload affects your skin too. And maybe you have rosacea, that constant redness that worsens with heat, exhaustion, or pressure, and your skin becomes the visible signal of what your body's been trying to process, quietly underneath. What finally clicked for me, and what I now see in so many women, is this. Your skin isn't separate. It's part of the communication system that keeps you in balance. Think of it like a smoke alarm. It doesn't cause the fire. It just refuses to stay quiet until you find what's burning in your house or wherever you're at. And once you start reading those signals, you stop reacting and you start responding with confidence and clarity and understanding. When you don't understand the message that your body is sending, you keep searching. You buy more products, you try new diets, you Google at midnight, you cancel plans, and it chips away at your confidence, especially when it comes to your skin. Because when your skin, your face, for example, or your hands greets the world before you do, it's hard not to feel like all of you is being judged. It's like staring at a cracked phone screen. You get so focused on the flaw that you forget that the message underneath still matters. And that's how we feel about ourselves. We just feel awful. But what if your skin isn't betraying you? What if it's actually doing you that favor that we always talk about? Every flare-up is your body's mid-season check-in, a reminder that you've been pouring out more than you've been refilling. When you start interpreting those signals, everything changes. You don't need one more product or plan. You need your body to be in balance and in alignment with your unique body type. So your skin isn't overreacting. If you've been with me for a while, it's just responding. It's not random. It's your built-in feedback system, the part of your body that refuses to stay quiet when your system is at capacity or you're feeding it the wrong things. So before you close this episode, don't forget to tap follow so you don't miss out the episodes that are coming next, the conversations that are going to help you understand what your body's really trying to tell you. You know, when you start checking those coolant levels in your car and your body, your rest, your rhythms, your food, your nourishment, everything, you stop waiting for that red light to flash. You lead your body the same way you lead everything else in your life, with confidence, with discernment, and with grace. And that's when everything starts running smoothly again. This was a fun topic for me to bring up because I have so much experience with skin issues. So I hope it blessed you, and I want you to have a wonderful rest of your week. See you back here next Tuesday. Thank you for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, tap follow and leave a 5-star review down below. I read every single one, and it helps more women find this podcast. If you want to keep the conversation going, head to tashamiller.co for resources, offers, and all the ways to connect with me.